Hi, it's Devon again, and we're talking about all things data. And what I want to talk about today is actually hiring in the IT stack, and specifically hiring in remote areas like rural hospitals. Rural hospitals, can't pick up and move. That's what a lot of companies do in other verticals. If you have a consulting firm and you just can't find the right talent in Naples or Dade City or something in Florida, I say, okay, well, I'll just headquarter myself in Jacksonville or Tampa instead, and I'll find a wider employee pool. But that's just not possible if you've got a business that's locked in the ground and a client base that's locked in the ground like a rural hospital does. So there are a couple of ways to get around this, and unfortunately they're not easy or simple, so let's talk through them. Number one is going to be money cures all. This applies to just about everything, except some things, and I'll talk about that in a different video. But in hiring, money does cure all. If you have the ability to increase your offering on your wages, you can probably find somebody who's willing to overlook the location they have to live in order to live that more comfortable lifestyle. So look in your budget and see if there's room to up the compensation. If you have room to up the compensation, that sort of segues into my next topic, which is improving the benefits and work-life balance around your employees. And that's more than just the compensation. Let's say that you're trying to hire for some kind of database administrator type role. Well, a database administrator is typically a 24/7, 365 role. Even if you technically only have to work 40 hours a week, you're probably going to get woken up at least once a week to handle an alert, a server down, something slow, you got to fix it. You're going to have reports that you have to build and make sure that they're functioning, and at least once a month, one of them's going to go haywire on a Saturday while you're trying to hang out with your kids. And so handling that work-life balance for that employee, that's a reason why a good database administrator wouldn't want to move to a smaller hospital or rural hospital because they know that they're going to have an extremely high workload. So one way to offset that would be to say, hey, you're going to be overseeing a junior staffer. We're going to hire you a junior staff, and you can train them up to handle these alerts so that you can share them. You can trade off on weekends and things like that. That way, your work-life balance is still in order, and the hospital is able to function the way it needs to. And that can work if that's what fits your company mantra best. The other way to handle this, in which is going to be better for a lot of hospitals, is to consider an outsourced or managed services option. Now, make sure you're following HIPAA compliance. Some managed services and outsourced firms that ship all of the jobs offshore are not going to be right for you. You need to make sure that you're finding one that's almost always you're going to need to find one that stays onshore in order to maintain all of your compliance. So make sure you're considering that. But barring that, a managed services provider is going to provide you more than just one person to throw at a problem almost always, and more than one skill set. So if you have an IT support with a help desk, you could get all of your O365 support, all of your assistance setting up your printers and your network and network security and endpoint monitoring. And on top of that, you can go even further and get your data stack taken care of with a full database managed services firm or data analysis on call. So that way you can get to all of your reports built. You can make sure your EHRs are set up, the databases for your EHRs are set up properly, and you've got that functioning well. And you can do all of that through managed services providers. There are hundreds of them across the country doing just that, and there are hundreds of hospitals doing that across the country to fill in those gaps that they can't fill because of their location. And then another thing you can do is really combine the first issue and the first solution and the second solution. Instead of hiring a junior person, you could hire an entire staff to augment your in-house lead. So you hire that full-time employee. Either you increase the benefits package or whatever it is that you get them on board. Then you give them the support they need to succeed. A lot of DBAs, like a mid-level DBA, might be willing to take that package you're offering if they know they're going to have the support that they need. So if they know that they're going to be overseeing the SQL that's underlying your EHR, and they're also going to have to handle issues with data interoperability, what happens if they get in over their head? A lot of people might be concerned that they have nowhere to go to and everything's going to fall on their shoulders if there's a problem. If they know they're being supported by a full managed services firm, if they know that they have that on-call support, the mentoring that they can get from a good MSP, that would be an incentive actually for them to want to be hired. Because they get to take on an advanced role, a senior or lead DBA role or a lead IT manager role, but have all of the infrastructure in place for success. And when that person succeeds, your healthcare organization is going to succeed. So consider a full-time employee with an outsourced managed services firm to back them up. So those are your solutions. I'm sorry that they aren't quick and easy. I've said this a couple of times. There is no magic wand to solving problems. There's just work, and a little bit of money. So I hope this helps some of you out there realizing what the solutions are for hiring in IT and rural hospitals. Let me know below if I missed anything. And of course, I have a more detailed version of this written up on the website. So make sure you go and check that out and give me some feedback. Thanks.